What's poppin', people? Welcome back. It's the Misplay for Game Podcast. As always, it's Andrew or Elixir.
Ho, 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 my happy little heavy metal enjoyers. It's your boy, the TommyNT, fighting jet lag and a Japanese release schedule. But what's good? Merry Christmas.
I'm not fighting anything. I'll be chilling. I finished work early today and everything.
I wish. I woke up for Heavy Metal Ace. I was that excited.
Yeah, it was a good one. We're cracking open a cold one with the boys.
Which is so sick that
Wait,
it's
really?
like the one card I was super stoked about. Yeah, the English release and the Japanese release say different things.
Okay, we actually just have to address that immediately. One
of them says without paying the cost, and the other one doesn't, and we don't know which one is correct.
Oh, the joys of having simultaneous releases. Now we just have nothing. That's brilliant,
Yeah.
that is.
This is why Banda wanted to keep the game separated, you know? They were like, we can't have stuff like this. We can't have these cards functioning slightly differently depending on where you live.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So it says trash one to your hand, TF4, then play 8,000 DP or lower Digimon from your trash, full stop. In Japanese, supposedly this reads without paying the cost.
Why do I feel like no purple players are like actually excited for this deck?
I don't know. It's because it's a red deck and it's for me.
It's because it's like, it doesn't do anything.
It really doesn't. Okay, I will say any deck that's like, what if I just like had no cards in hand? Wouldn't that be like really cool? And then but then it's like, oh, but you evolve from the trash.
Yeah, I think it is cool. I mean, evolving from trash is crazy.
The card will just literally discard you to get you to 4. Like you genuinely don't care about the effects. Like, oh, I have 4 now.
I mean, it's also just like, it's a rush 2-check asshole now. Like, it's beautiful.
Dude, it's crazy because like you read the first line of text and you're like, wow, it means even if you're having a really rough game, you can start the game plan. And then you realize that for the cost of being able to start the game plan, you really can't play anything of value at all. I was for sure like, okay, this plays Nidhogg, but I, slightly misread the card. It's like, no, you're not adding 2,000. It is like a takeaway. Like you can play a rookie if you're at 7 cards or something, which how much is Rush Gilmon scrambleable? So he's 2K, right?
Yeah, he's 2K.
So as long as you have 7 cards in hand, 7 cards in hand, that means that you can play Rush Gilmon, which, if you weren't doing very well and playing the game properly, or the intended game plan of being on 4, that's a pretty good way to 3-check someone. But
I'm a fan. If you can manage to do it where you don't completely screw your whole setup, this is hypothetically a lethal amount of damage, which is cool. They gave the deck like an on paper bad Merva OTK.
Does it have any protection? You don't.
No.
Right?
Well,
wait,
I mean,
this is just a straight OTK line from 4 memory.
Yeah,
because
like you can do some really dumb stuff.
If you ignoring Blast Evo, if you're at 4, so like Yuki set you to 3, they have 1 Digimon on board, go to 4. This is Heavy Metal for 3, play Rush Gilmon, swing 2 checks, swing the rookie if it lives.
Rush Gilmon doesn't gain, he isn't a 2-checker because he's not a Dark Dragon.
No, but as in like you swing the 2 checks with the inherit. And then you just swing the rookie. If it lives, you demonic and just unsuspend swing, and it's half red, so you just blitz Omni over it. Like this is a straight OTK line from 4 memory.
That's a lot more steps than just like this. Big Heavy Metal plays little guy plays a third thing, and then it's 2 checks, 2 checks, 2 checks, unsuspend.
Yeah, I mean that's also a thing. Jesmon, Jesmon, you can accidentally drop your cards on the table, and they might resolve in the right order. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, either way, you're still doing more than some of the other cards are in this set. Is
this finally the year of belligerent red? Are we finally back to like BT2? When was the last time red was good? Like
this is what Santa promised me. Is like the coal in my stocking this year. I'm setting it on fire. I am personally contributing to climate damage, and I will be playing Bungus red decks again.
Yeah, I mean we're getting a new War Greymon, which means maybe he will also join like the new Hall of Famer red card. Probably won't. I can't wait for him to be half green or some nonsense.
I'm pretty excited though. We'll see what else they do. We haven't seen Impmon. He's gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting.
I mean, historically, he is a rookie that has.
Yeah, I mean, he's Liberator tagged, so how bad could it ever really stay that bad?
True. Do we want to talk about some of the other like BT20 stuff? I'm in love with this Pokemon. I have no idea if it's playable, but I just think he's cool, and I like that it's Yamaretsu art, and because they're really poppy and stuff. So I really think the Pokemon's really cool.
I'm pretty sure like we already knew about the Pokemon. They're just
yeah,
like,
it got
this is like
leaked
official.
from China, right? It was in the Chinese
No, I think it
release.
was a stream. I think it was like the Thursday streams.
Was
a
it?
stream a couple days ago, like all of the over the X update pack cards got revealed.
Yeah.
In like kind of crunchy potato resolution.
Okay,
So
I think
it's
that's why I
like
thought it was a
the
leak rather than a
Avenged
reveal.
Kidmon, Magnadramon, all of them.
Yeah, like all the Digivice decks got a card.
Yes.
And then...
So I was looking at them because like Magnadramon's like the other one that's like a pretty decent parallel to it. Could someone explain to me, because there's the reduced if you have the field spell, reduce the play cost by 4. Are stuff like Eldoradimon free playing stuff, or are they playing at reduced cost?
Well, Eldoradi isn't playing it from hand where its cost is reduced, so it wouldn't even matter for Eldoradi.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to check, because like realistically slamming
I think
11 minus 4 7 is not ideal.
Yeah, I think it does hypothetically make a difference. I'd have to check the rules because it's all about like the specific verbiage that they use. But as far as I understand it, the way that it works is that like the card to be more conscious of specifically for nature spirits is Talalak, because Talalak does play from hand, and Eldoradi obviously plays from top deck. So
right, but is it that the play cost in hand is changed
Talalak
when
can
it would
play
be
it.
played? So Talalak can play it.
The confusion whether or not Talalak can play it is the wording on the card. As far as I understand it, Talalak is a play cost of, but the card it's like I'll pull up the Magnadramon and read it. The exact verbiage is when it would be played if the correct option is insecurity, reduce the play cost by 4. That is not a card that is being played by an effect. It's that when you would play it. So it is 11 play cost until it's not. That's at least
my understanding is that like your 7s are able to play these promos because like it means that you can actually play something that isn't like an ace. So like for example, in like the case of like Talalak, you have like the Magnager, right? So you'd be able to like play that, but then like the Eldoradi is like cheating it out from like the top of the deck, which is not a zone that you can reduce play cost from.
Correct.
Yeah, I forgot it was a gotcha.
So it's basically like, think of the Magnadramon, right, as like I have an actual target to play off of Talalak instead of Saber Leo Ace.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we also already had Herc, which is a beautiful. Oh, that card is so good.
Yeah, but like instead of an ace, right, you have like a good like card that's like, I'm a card you can play that isn't an ace.
That's true. I will say as well, there's a lot of utility in the fact that that card is the yellow half and not another green piece, because like it means you can do some more interesting stuff with it. Like you don't have to worry about like metal Edamons as much. You can get your yellow source from another part, which is neat.
Oh no, metal Edamon immediately relegated to obscurity once again.
Well, it's also complicated too because this is the second set of the DNAs. I don't believe it's true for Deep Savers. I think Deep Savers is weird because like their cards also can DNA on like alternating levels. So like they have like Seadramon plus a piece, and like that's really cool.
I mean the Puku is level 5, blue black +1 purple.
Yeah, so he's very in line with that archetype, as is the we have not had Bolt Boutmon, or not Bolt Boutmon. What's the actual? Oh, dude, that sucks. I can't remember his name. Just Boltmon, the actual like Frankenstein guy. He's probably going to be revealed tomorrow, if I would guess. He's black, yellow, and purple red, so he's like moderately unique.
Just to backtrack on like, for example, the Deep Savers.
Yeah, what a beast.
So like the thing with the Pokemon for the Deep Savers is that like that card is like incredible payoff because it means that like blue Sarstrip has like a guy that they can drop to like clear a board. And like the way you want to think about these cards is basically like it's not Bandai like not errating, but like getting people to play things beyond medieval, because like yeah, you could play all these cards, or you could just play medieval Galacticmon instead. Like, you know, if your board is going wide, surely you just play medieval Galacticmon, right? These are like deliberately like stronger cards that are in theme with like the Digivice decks, because like they have to be, otherwise I would just play medieval. But the other thing with Deep Savers is that like none of the purple cards are really that good. Like
I don't know, the Marine Devimon's kind of cool.
The Marine Devimon is it's Agitar. The Marine Devimon is Agitar.
Yeah, I think we'll see that deck change. I do still think we've talked about this
I think
offline, but
like you can play. I saw it
popping is
recently.
tight.
Like you can play like the Siako Gesso stuff and
Sure,
like commit
sure.
to wideboard purple stuff, which is that's a Johnny
But the
coded
thing
deck.
is, right? The thing with these decks, right? If you think about it, is like, why would I play Deep Savers that has access to like blue, play out, source strip, unsuspend, right? And why would I like pollute my deck with things that are not blue and stop myself from being able to have more targets for like trainings and boosts? Instead, I can just stick to blue and then play the powerful like delay cards. But for the Nature Spirits deck, it's kind of like the opposite problem where like because
there's no
Davis
that with the boost.
no because Davis is so good, a card has to be like individually like so strong that like it's okay to like whiff on the Davis search or like a Jade Memory Boost search, because like the Nature Spirits deck, yes, it has black and yellow, but primarily you should be thinking it as a blue-green deck.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. The other like advantage that like I've seen Fringe EX8 pick up for it is like it turns out you can fix a lot of decks to just 4 Analog Youth and a Paladin Mood to reset your deck.
Shut up.
No, I mean it's true. I'm like it's the fastest search. Like yeah, if you whiff on your TommyNT, just try again later. So it's one of those. I don't know. We'll see. I mean the other thing is like if you guys have not had a chance, I encourage you to find your nearest library public printer and print off some proxies for EX8 and try out Hercules Ace, because Hercules KnTElixar Ace feels like the actual reason to play the deck, and TommyNT is a nice to have. You go Eldorado, you spit out Herc, you're like, oh my god, I'm cheating.
The other thing with Herc is like they kind of are doubling down on like the Metal Garuru Ace, right? Because like purple doesn't really have aces, and like a purple level 5 will just like explode to you blinking, whereas like a green level 5, there's like tons of green level 5, so like being able to like actually steal memory in a color that isn't purple is like pretty big. So like it helps you deal with forms of like any deck that has protection is like, oh yeah, I can't interact with you, well I'll just take your turn away.
Yeah, Ulturn's memory inherits are so fun. Like there's some of like peak joy being nosy and looking at someone else's board and seeing a state, and then like an interaction happens, and then you know starts moving the memory gauge. You're like, why? I'm like, it's an Ulturn. So I'm just like, scammed. Splendido.
Yeah, and that's like the other thing is like I think we're gonna get as decks have like more and more protection. Like every set now, a card has some kind of like almost omni protection. I think we're gonna pivot towards like more ways to steal memory from the opponent as a way to like cut off extension for their turns,
which is funny because it really improves, like it's really leaning the game back in favor of memory blocker, where like obviously we've got the 2-color boost now, we've got more boosts just in general coming out. If there's more memory steal things, then you bring the boost, and them being scramblable unlike the play cost reducers means that like just you should have gotten your promo Gazimons hella early. Like you wanted the nice ones, long day for you. Should have opened more like, BT11, bozo.
And I think that's why, like, I was thinking about this, and it was something that I was going to eventually bring up, is that, like, memory is becoming more important as a whole, like, managing memory on the opponent's turn, especially. So that's why, like, every color now has a memory floodgate. Like, yellow finally got Tapir, so no color really has, like, an excuse. So at least that's, like, kind of cool.
It's interesting because like before the way to play the memory choke game was to kind of like load up on Emperors, but now with, you know, like the memory things, more boosts being playable, it feels like they are kind of trying to push you back to mem blocker boost and some tamer effects to kind of like be your thing, because everyone cheats memory now. So everyone also is incredibly crippled by kind of like the memory blockers. But at the same time, like I think the fact that they've printed a boost as well as the, you know, scramble and like instant play cost reducers rather than setup play cost reducers like the trainings were, I think is a really interesting way of making it so like, yes, the game is trending in favor of squeeze as much value out of one memory as you can. But like the trainings and scrambles being kind of like different timings makes it feels like there's a lot more skill expression to do similar routes now, where like Imperial's a great example. I am expecting to get hit by something and then get hit by a different card that functionally does the same thing and leaves the old option live. Like The amount of times I'm like, oh, I'm going to get HBD, and I get green scrambled, and then it spits out 2 bodies that gain back the memory. I'm like, HBD is still alive, and I'm still dead. Brilliant.
I think like the other thing is, if you think about it, there's kind of like a loop in a way that's happening, like, or like a cycle where it's like, okay, well, people are cheating memory, so I'm gonna play and like using like boosts, because boosts now are like a little bit better with like the amount of like inherent like ways to reduce evolution costs, right? So for example, like protoform or training or whatever, like you want to have that memory. So then memory floodgates become better. So then it's like, okay, well, how do I get memory besides these delay cards? Well, I'll play some tamers. So then it's like, okay, well, if tamers are really good because the tamers are acting as like banks for memory, how can I interact with tamers? Well, okay, the decks that have tamer interaction like deletion or modding or whatever become even better, right? So it's like it's promoting the game in a more like interactive way where it's like you can set up, but the opponent can counter your setup. So then you're incentivized to run like outs to certain things or like set up in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I also think like the advent of like additional forms of interaction with previously uninteractable areas is interesting. Like the like golden rule of like can't mess with the digi eggs is still there. But like you can now more regularly get access to like I think we're on 3 colors that can deal with delays now. Like there's something to be said for the fact that like if your card says delay, it's broken. But like having the option to sort of expand your deck building in like kind of lateral ways is like something I think I'm looking forward to in 2025. Because it'll be one of those things where when they do eventually print the next wave of Justimon cards or whatever, like the fact that they can interact with your opponent's stuff is really interesting. Makes a terrible mirror match if you haven't played it yet. That is so unfun.
Good thing nobody plays Justimon at my local, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's gonna be so funny when it's you and whoever shows up once a month, and it'll be like, "Welcome to the dojo."
When Jamie escapes the South.
Yeah, I have been playing a little bit of it on some unofficial simulation stuff, and it's like I just didn't want to wait for BT19 cards. Like, I'm very excited about EX8. Very excited about finally getting my Galacticmon cards.
When does it come out?
EX8 drops in January, and 2.0, Special Booster 2.5 does not technically have a release date yet, but it's been slated for late February, and the website was updated this week, so I suspect in the next couple days we'll be hearing something about an actual English release date.
Okay.
That would at least follow the pattern of previous set releases, where it's like what they usually do is they go, here's the information about the set, here's how many cards are in it, it goes updated on the English page. Then a couple months later, we hear about like, here's additional product info, and then that usually starts after the card reveals, which we're in that window right now. And then in a couple days / week, we'll basically be like, here's the like, Yuki from Digimon Liberator joins the fight, and it's like a Smash Brothers trailer. So we'll be getting one of those soon, would be my expectation. But yeah, I don't know. It'll also be interesting to see, like, because like I said, we're getting 2.5 after EX8. A lot of the like iconic archetypes that we expected to do crazy stuff, like, we're gonna have Sakuyamon without Taomon Ace, and we're gonna have Galacticmon without New Takato, and we're gonna have Justimon without Rio. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's like I think people will experiment with like the weird pieces that Sakuya got, because like now they have scrambles and like mid mode Ace. It's like the deck is technically very playable, but without
for sure
the 19 pieces, which like how Ace in like pure Sakuya is like okay, like a one of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, surely all it does is give us not Talmon Rude mode boot for a little bit longer. Yeah. So like the Sakuya players can be Sakuya players instead of game haters.
And it is a loss to not have the new Rika. That is a big hit for Sakuyamon.
But like, for example, for Justimon, I'm watching people trying to cope effectively like EXA Justy, and I'm like, you guys are deranged. And we can just like play this and not play the delays, and then you can still. I'm just like, no, I don't think I will, actually. I think I'm good. Thanks.
Coming from a guy that has ran Footmon in his Justimon lists before.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done trying to optimize like a garbage black deck. Like, you know what I'm going to do instead? I'm going to play Pyramidi guys and one bang people.
Oh, that deck is so cool.
That deck
That's
is
like the
broken.
random. That's like the random archetype that like stands to do really well without everyone having all their cards. Is like, yeah, Pyramidi is like you steal the promo Gatsumons or whatever. You steal some like
Yeah.
jank, and then you have 4 analog youth in a dream.
That
Dude,
deck is broken because like
It's
that
so
deck,
funny.
it just like it it's like if you guys know like Call by the Grave in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like the card that like makes it so that if the opponent tries to interact with you, it actually gets worse for them. Oh yeah, go ahead, Exablau, player source strip me. Watch what happens. Oh, you died.
DDGvolve.
Yeah, DDGvolve, pop 4 play cost. Ah, that's awesome. Thank you,
And you
bro.
can recycle the eggs, dude. It's so insane.
I'll just like steal like 4 memory. Thank you.
dude, that
Yeah.
reminds me. Genuinely, you saying that interaction reminded me. I was like when Hexablau was starting to run around a little bit. I was like, I'll take Bagger and let's see what happens when they source strip all my things, lose 5 memory. Funny enough, I just have a vanilla. I give me a way to get my sources back, please, because it's funny for the first turn, and then my vanilla sits there for 3 turns and gets bottom decked, and it was not funny anymore. But
I will
yeah, Pyramidi's
say-
sick.
Is
He's,
TommyNT take a memory or gain a memory? Sorry, I've just seen that in chat.
I think
it's
it will
not. Surely it's not
always-
take a memory.
it's always gain a memory, so that
I
way you
think
can
it'll
get
gain,
shut down.
yeah.
No, I was gonna say,
They really
they so rarely give away lose a
Lose
memory that I
memory,
was
yeah.
like, oh.
At most it would be the opponent loses as opposed
Yeah,
to
I was
you
gonna say,
gaining.
like,
Yeah.
listen, don't preach to me, brother. Gromlon
There's
X.
there's like a couple of decks, right, that's like will get to exist in this like limbo format of like EX8 no 2.0. Like I think Dynamon.
The Digivice decks stand to be better positioned. Like, I think if you're gonna see an English breakout for Deep Sabers, I kind of expect
Yeah.
it to be in January.
Deep Savers, I think, like will require people to like test ahead of time. Like, I mean, this only really impacts like OCE, but there is potential for like Savers to actually do something. And then like Dynamon, funnily enough, like has you're
Mhm.
hearing it here first on Christmas Eve. Dynamon farms Fenrir. Okay, it's actually insane. It's like give it up for red deck number 3 that just farms Fenrir. It's so funny. It's like
Yeah.
diabolical. You hit
It's
him for
very
3
good.
checks, and then you go, okay, bro,
I win now. You can never make Takamika.
I have fortitude.
Yeah, on place to spin myself, win the game.
Yeah. Oh, you minus 16 me? That's a shame.
Yeah. Ooh, should have wanted it more.
Oh, I'll fortitude, play
And
myself back,
even if
and
they
bot deck
don't
your
DP
Fenrir.
minus you, they have to swing at the dinosaur. It's so
Yeah.
sick.
And give it up.
yeah, I'm a
Red
big
deck
fan.
number 3. I think I have a list. It's Phoenix. Phoenix it's a buy. Like
I mean, red beats purple, right? That's the dream.
yeah, I read it. Yeah. It's like Phoenix, Dino, and what was the other one? What was the other red deck that just absolutely?
Does Gallant have a good matchup into Fenrir?
Gallant had a very, very funny matchup, but then the advent of what's it called?
Let me try to find
The
it.
scrambles changed it.
Oh,
Let me see
yeah,
if I
fair
can
enough.
If you
find
take
it.
them off the board, they just make another one.
Oh,
Although-
Ragnar's not bad into thing. Oh, you. One sec. I gotta shoot a guy. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Jamie.
But yeah, I expect the. Hey, also just as a random side point before, because it's it's the holiday season. Like
Oh,
Marcy
it's
said, real ones
it's
know-
Millenniumon.
Yes,
Millennium also
Millennium beats
shits
the
on
snot out of
Fenrir.
it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we do. Hard, actually. It's
Yeah, and you
diabolical.
can take the Takamikas out of trash too.
Oh yeah, I don't even care
Um,
about that. But, I mean, you have to do that for the D-Digivolve. So if they've set it up,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really funny. But yeah, I don't know. Just there is really funny thing about all of like the red decks are like pseudo purple, where all of the instant win conditions are delete me, see what happens.
Yeah,
And I think
it's
that's
sweet.
I like that new direction for red. I think like red being like 5 checks, whatever. That's old, okay? Give me 3 checks, but give me like on deletions, okay? Like I want to be deleted so bad, bro. Let me float.
I dig that they've also done it in different flavor too. So like Phoenixmon is the closest to like mono red delete stuff that I've seen, where it's like they don't typically float without other cards to do it. It's not like the Digimon are recursive. It's like other effects give you cards back.
Yeah.
And like Tyrannomon, good stuff, is gonna have green fortitude, which is really cool. But if you want to know more about a couple of these decks, we haven't added. Listen, y'all, we're recording in a different slot, and some of us are in different time zones, so my notes are a little scrambled. So ho ho ho, please forgive us. if you want to learn a little bit more about EX8, you should check out friend of the channel East, who just put out the second week of EX8 meta report.
For no particular
reason, think you guys would enjoy this one if you're watching our podcast.
Nah.
Yeah,
No,
I will
but-
put together the takes that we didn't use, but some of the takes that we weren't expecting to get used made it into funny video.
I cannot believe, shouts to Lord Seiji, but I cannot believe 19 legally distinct Omnimons makes it into a video.
Dude,
yeah,
that was so fun as well because I mean the jig is up. Like we were in an East video. It was really fun. We had a great time. We had like the whole conversation like I don't think East swears in his videos and like it's really funny like he does in his streams, but in his videos he keeps it hella family friendly.
It's YouTuber voice.
And it's just like
say so as heck.
Yeah, he's say so and then the final 3 seconds of that video just is fuck nature spirits and it's Marcy. I was like, oh, it's me the first time that there's a swear on his channel. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Really
real
funny.
Ones know.
Also,
real ones know if
right?
you say Baba Booey, you can say anything funny enough afterwards.
Yeah. The thing is, right, people are going to think that, like, I hate nature spirits, but the reason why I said fuck nature spirits was because I was like, I'm not going to cover it. But people are going to think that I'm some, like, nature spirit hater. It's like, no.
Which is funny because Tom has, like, the fucking max foil, like, nature spirits thing. So it's just, like, this perfect triangle of me and Tom playing some of the worst Digimon we've ever played together. And then you just like, fuck nature spirits. I hate these guys.
Can we talk about like the Lylemon or whatever that just got revealed? That card is just a Starmon.
The XL
card? Like Chaosmon stuff, right?
Yeah, that card is just Starmon, by the way. It's literally, they were like, oh, that was good. That was great. Let's do that again. It's literally 4 costs
but
to
it's
slam.
Starmon for yellow vac as opposed to Starmon for a yellow data card.
Oh, sure, I suppose. Yeah.
Not that yellow vac is a real deck. They're finally moving it along to Angels, thank God. But like, oh God.
That's just Starmon.
Yeah, it's Starmon again. I think it has more DP.
Patamon, Patamon can go into this.
It has more DP as well, which
Barrier's pretty cool.
Yeah, but Starmon gives you barrier.
Yeah. Starmon also gives you barrier. It literally
Starmon. The when digivolving and the alternate costs for everything are the exact same. Sorry, and the inherit are the exact same. This thing just has more DP and is a vaccine, which is so sick.
And I guess they can evolve. No, these were it's the level 4s that evolve at combat step in Leomon box, right?
Yeah, you would never play these.
Yeah, this card doesn't have the little text box that says name treated as Leomon. So they are very intentionally telling you not to play this in Leomon good stuff.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this fucking thing. Is it even a bird in any capacity?
Yeah, it's an ancient bird.
It's technically Terramon additional things if you want a level 4 piercing.
Hey bro, your green Biomon can maybe float and turn into this.
That's so stinky.
I mean, I think barrier plus piercing is clearly a sign that they're about to do some stupid stuff with a level 7. But you know, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, let me go find
the turkey revealed at Christmas. I'll put it that way.
Where
we just need like a reindeer mon.
Yeah, I mean we should. I'm finding there it is. Derek.roleplay. Singularity of Chaos.
So funny.
This is a whole bunch of text.
Random stuff though, guys.
Whole bunch of text that doesn't matter. And then this end of opponent's turn. If this Digimon has Chaosmon in its name, trash your opponent's top security card, and this Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn.
If I could fit this into birds, it'd be like the funniest
3,000, Andrew?
Oh, my bad.
30,000.
30,000.
If I could somehow put this into birds, it would be like the funniest thing. You know, like the meme of like the little black kid in dreads just like fading, like doing this.
Yeah.
Phoenixmon on the lead. I'm sorry, Spotify viewers.
It rips supremely. You can what it lets you. It's Axel and Chaos, or sorry, Axel and Chaos let you ignore color requirements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something there. It's kind of quirky.
I mean, I guess it's
we'll see. Anything that lets me play Ultimate Chaosmon again.
Okay, hear me out. Technically, this is very playable if you play like Analog Youth in Birds, because it's a white source, and then you just like slot this in, and then because
it's security add to hand, you get to play an Axel reduce cost by 4. Yeah, so you just take the stupid bird or something. Is the bird a vaccine?
No, it has to be
a vaccine bird.
Oh, I guess it is a bird.
Yeah,
vaccine.
So you get to free play your Diatomon and
that's Diatriamon. Pardon you, you didn't play Survive.
No, I didn't. because I am not going on no diatribe.
Guys, listen, I think the only thing we can take away from this at the end of 2024 is of the cast of Misplay for Game, the rotating cycle of chuckle nuts that show up on this podcast. I'm the only real Digimon fan. These guys, they just do it for the love of the game. They get up in the morning to hate.
I'm a card game player.
Yeah, Marcio is like a card game player that happens to have watched the show. I am,
and as the only real Digimon player, I can say that Atmon joining this game is the worst thing that could have happened to us.
That's lie. That's cap. Just don't make it an extra deck though, please.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there won't be an extra deck because they don't want their playmats to become obsolete. You don't want to buy your, black starter deck for starter deck and then look at the playmat and go, oh, why does my zone, why do you have an extra zone on yours? Like,
yeah, it's like Johnny showing up with Diaboromon tokens in every deck for plausible deniability.
When I was throwing,
he's like, I might be playing something. You don't know,
dude. When I was throwing away some of my old Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, I realized because I just compulsively keep all the stuff in the starter deck box, I had every iteration of the Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck like playmats. Like I had like when it still said Fusion Zone, Extra Deck, like Synchro Zone. I had every version of it. I was like, this is really cool. Into the bin with you. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever get an extra deck simply because I think Bandai would not want you to be able to buy an old starter deck and go, oh.
They weren't happy enough with side decks, and those cards don't even have to go on the playmat. We're never getting an extra deck. There's just no way.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And when this goes wrong and we get a Curb Your Enthusiasm cliff, it's going to be peak. But yeah, it's been you know what though? I would say, talking of the stuff this year, it's been kind of a banger year for Digimon, guys.
Yeah, it's been good.
Like, this time last year, I was kind of like, ugh, I can't believe they brought more Melga cards back into the game. Why are they giving Melga more?
You were like, oh my god, I want to play Apocalymon so bad. That's what you were up to.
No, had they revealed? Yeah, it was out in Japan, of course. Yeah, I did want to play Apocalymon. And I'm right for that, bro. Some of these decks, I think we should hunt the purple players a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're taking like a back seat to like blue. There's like a guy that probably should be getting coal for Christmas, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. We have recorded Boko, but Champions, if you've enjoyed the thematic ones, then the rest of y'all, you're getting a little Boko nice and early tomorrow for Christmas. Literally as the clock strikes midnight, Santa's gonna drop it in your inbox, and then on New Year there's a video that definitely was not me and Tom forgetting what we had already recorded and recording the same video again. But different this time.
This is why we need Marcio on the Boko, because then somebody who has seen the real KnTElixar YouTube channel fans would have been like, "You guys already made this video."
I got to Adobe Photoshop before I realized, like, me and Tom, we were distracted by a very other really important thing that went wrong in that video. It wasn't until I got to Photoshop and I was looking, so behind the scenes, I saved the Boko thumbnail as whatever it was last, so I get to see what I'd recently done. So when I opened it up and it showed the exact topic that we'd already spoken about, I was like, oh, that's really strange. I don't remember. No, I definitely didn't make it early. And then I look at the scheduled uploads and I go, Tom, we're fucking stupid. We've done this video already. But yeah, it is different and you should watch it because it is different. You'll see at no point do we go, this seems too familiar, because we're distracted by a very, very different problem. But yeah, more Boko's coming. We're going to do more stuff. We're going to get more guests next year. We're going to do a bunch of fun stuff. And Marcio will be in bonus content.
I'll try to. I mean, a lot of times it's just like, all right, let's record a pod at like 9 on a Sunday. And I'm just like, you know what, guys? I do have to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to work.
Real shifties be like, I gotta get up and get a bus.
Yeah. we're gonna figure it out.
Homies like, it's like 10 p.m. I guess I'll turn my coffee machine on.
Yeah, it's misery.
I'm 2 Arizona iced teas deep, just like showing up and trying.
I got a meeting at 11:30. Can I squeeze a quick bagel in?
Hey man, listen, it's the holidays. You don't have to come for me like that. Oh, I'm back in the Midwest, y'all. Bagels go crazy. What the heck? Europe, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so bagel story. your brother has the like funniest like bagel
Friend of the
like
show, DHM.
I wouldn't say friend. He has like the funniest like take on like why he doesn't buy bagels. It actually just baffles me. Okay? Because he's so stupid, I swear. His thing is like he wants to buy a pack of like 2 bagels tops, but he can't get that because everywhere only sells 4, right? And he wants 1 or 2. And he's
Wait.
like,
4 bagels? Are they stealing bagels from you where you live? Because
Yeah,
when
I've
I can
never
buy
seen a pack
bagels,
with
it's
less than
5.
5.
Like, are you getting
Yeah.
like taxed on your
Sure,
bagels?
You
Five
guys are getting
bagels.
skimmed off the
Okay,
top on bagel
upwards,
store.
like I'm talking like upwards of like 4 plus, right? That's all
My
they
bagels
sell.
have VAT.
Like nobody sells bagels that are 1 or 2, and I'm just like, dude, just eat the 1 or 2 and give them to someone. I don't know, throwing them in the bin.
Freeze
It's
them.
not that big of.
Bagels freeze really well.
I wouldn't freeze
Bagels
a bagel.
literally are meant to be they're boiled bread. You can freeze them all day. You can freeze them for like a whole year. You shouldn't if you want them to taste as amazing as you would hope they would, but you can.
I have frozen Portuguese croissants in my freezer. I'm saving those motherfuckers for like a long time, okay? Those are like my babies, okay? Like I will eat them when I feel like it. If I want to have them frozen for another year, that's my croissants and none of your business, okay? Anyway, yeah, so he just like he gets really upset that he can't buy exactly like 1 or 2 bagels.
Well, there needs to be like there's no like the problem with the problem with UK Digimon is that there's no dope kosher bakery down the road for me to go buy a bagel.
That's not true. We actually have one near Fanboy. We've been.
It's it's pretty good. It's not like
okay,
listen, I would settle for like an Einstein Brothers bagel. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like with some real schmear, ooh, hook me up.
This is like going like, oh man, I really want some like authentic lasagna, but you know, I'm in the UK and I can't. Why can I not get lasagna like in Italy? You know?
Yeah. This is my hill to die on. Agumon would want me to have a good bagel, dude.
No, Gilmon would want you to have a good bagel.
He would. This is why I'm a Galacticmon guy.
Portuguese Agumon be like, Taichi, I cannot get any pastel de natas. There are custard tarts here.
That's crazy.
No. Chat, if you think your favorite Digimon would like a specific kind of baked good, get in the comments and let us know. And remember to like the video or follow on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's how you plug.
Rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I swear, if Apple Podcasts doesn't pick up, next year will be the final year of Apple Podcasts. But yeah, also, if you have dumb things like that, we might turn them into another list and send it back to you with, we will have fleshed out your ideas to the greatest headcanon of all time. Like, everyone knows that, obviously, Vmon is on his noodle enterprise, but like, people want to know what sort of like business acumen the Armadillomon has been cooking up during the time skip. Like, what's he been up to? How's he helping?
Has the craziest smokehouse barbecue. He has like one of those pit fires, and he just sits there and he's like, "Ah, man, I love grilling, Cody."
Yeah,
like, Cody, I have inhaled nothing but propane for you.
Patamon chokes on boba tea tapioca.
He digivolves into Submarimon so that there's breathable air for the boy.
Patamon chokes on tapioca.
Oh, 100%.
He's like slurping and he's like, and then he's just like, he like jitters a bit, it's just like every time like some tapioca gets like stuck.
He's got that EX1 non-alt like Patamon render where he just freezes, just like,
Bodamon does a boba shop. I couldn't think there was no boba Digimon, so I was trying to, it doesn't matter. Oh wait, there's like Mamemon. They all do their little balls.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to open up Photoshop today to make a Mamemon related emote for no particular reason.
Sure.
I'm gonna try and get more emotes ready for next year as well. I've got some dumb stuff that I'm sending Jade and some various artists, and maybe opening up Photoshop myself, because shit posting is a wonderful drug.
And if you guys are taking interest in emotes for no particular reason, remember to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like 3Ks, where it,
yeah.
It's real. It's an extant number that you can check out, and if you want to click on it enough that you get to look at it on your screen, you can contribute.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like we're nearly at the amount where the thing goes public. I tested it. Videos do go to the intended channel that they're supposed to. Stats are a thing.
That's 50% of the job. Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah,
it's like the boss man like shawarma shop like Digimon. It is it like
Biomon.
Is it, no, it has to be like a big boy Digimon, like an Animon. Is like
I was thinking kind of Volcanomon, like low key.
you guys know, like the Canadian guy who's like, you
Yeah,
get the
dude,
shawarma and you get the
The
Bebzi,
guy,
you know?
the dude in Digimon World who does that is Maramon. Like the Maramon's like in the kitchen cooking up some like bomb ass
Okay.
potluck.
Yeah, I can see that, but like low key. Actually, you know what? Actually, no, I do kind of subscribe to this. But what if you're like hype man, like getting you in the shop? He's telling you about all the deals. I clicked on this link, hoping that it's gonna take me to a real website. But what if Volcanomon? He's just out there. He's like, yo, 2 for 1. And he's got Edamon in the back. He's like a little street performer. He's like, yo, we got samples inside. Cut Volcanomon for the low cost of, I don't know, 25 pence from big orbit. You should yeah. I think the Volcanomon, Loki, he's part of the shawarma business.
Who's the like the chopped cheese dealer, you know, like New York bodega? The Akiway guy, you know, but like as like a Digimon. First
Lugomon. Lugomon reads so like New York subway rat to me. Like I've been thinking it the whole. He's like, you putz.
First, you get the Jamaican patty.
I like Seekers for a lot of reasons. I like Lugomon specifically because there should be more Digimon that think that the schmuck human being they're stuck with sucks. And like that's a fun character trait.
Wait,
like,
actually,
I like that.
Easiest spitting it is Gaiomon. It's not even close. It's like Gaiomon, and he's got like 2 Dino Humans working in the back for like $10 Digi an hour. Like they are struggling.
Dino Humon's a good pick. I forgot about him.
Yeah,
add
like
the cheese and put it on the grill.
Yeah, like this is 100% Gaiomon owns the gaff, and then he's got like they're fresh out of Access Mountain, and they're just trying to get their work experience. They're not working for very much. Dino Human, he's struggling.
Nah, bro, that's just his nephew. He works there for free.
Good pull on the lore though, Andrew. That was good.
He works there for free. Come on now.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't pay for labor. Somebody in your family will do it for free.
He's not paying for labor, but he does get a free chopped cheese every shift.
Speaking of not paying for labor and getting things for free, Mirage won another event, fellas. Do we want to talk about it?
No.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
My bad.
I'm kind of done talking about Mirage, actually.
That's tragic, because guess who's got a gig in January?
Yeah. That's okay. We brought him here to you. Actually, I told a lie. Fellas, Mirage only got second. Shoutouts to Avalt. This is... I'll drop the...
Well...
Wait, I've already put it in the homies chat.
Did he get a second?
Well, yeah.
Did he get a second, or did he get first? Because depending on who you ask, he may have won that event.
Yeah. Complicado.
Yeah. Has this event gone, or the event we're talking about with Evolt gone into thingy yet?
The Play TCG Ultimate Cup.
Yeah, is that on?
Yeah, it's up on Digital Gate. You can check it out. If you check the pod chat, fellas,
I've got
at 3 minutes past the hour. I posted that there for you.
Yeah, we've got this is the North American Carta Magica.
This is Carta Magica. This is the one before.
Yes, so we'll go through that one first, whilst I also look for that.
I just want to talk about Galacticmon. It's so sick. It's like so very exciting to me. There's some other fun stuff in this archetype.
What'd you do to the screen?
Uh-oh.
Are we good?
Going in.
Are we like Matrix Digivolve? Okay, we're back.
Oh, do you guys have the preview? Yeah,
I guess we see your preview when you do it. That's fun.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
OBS is a science. This is a professional podcast.
I did something slightly different to what I usually do. So, but yeah, here's this. This is Galacticmon.
I'm very excited to this one, boys, because Galacticmon is this deck that I spent the first half of this format not coping over, but I was profoundly excited to play with it. Because anytime, I think there's like, Digimon has had a couple of those decks now where you can play more than 4 of a card. And I think that inherently is like a funny, novel concept to break up your experience playing the Digimon TCG. So getting to make a list where you submit 21 BT11 Vemmon absolutely rips. But if you guys are not familiar, because like I think Galacticmon has 3 tops in its entire lifespan in the Western format. It got top 16 at EU Nats 2023. It topped a regional in BT11. And this, I think, if I remember correctly, Correct me in the comments. I know there's some real Digimon historians will pull through.
Hey, so
But
one
if you
day
guys are
that'll
not
be us.
familiar, yeah, one day that'll be for real, for real. Yeah, if you guys are not
25.
familiar, the deck is a Vemmon that Andrew has pulled up on the screen for you all, where you can play more than 4 copies of this card. And the whole gimmick is that basically this little dude is just a turboing little engine for accelerating pieces. Like you suspend him, Agitar style, and reveal the top 3, take your pieces with the names, and then place one among something as a source. And then the inherits are all, when it would evolve into relevant names, reduce the cost. So the deck is sick. Does a bunch of wombo combo stuff where like the level 4s can help you get into the 6 straight away. You can pick pieces up from the trash. And then the big backbreaking bit of support really was Zenith. Zenith he's one of those tamer cards that you're like, wow, this definitely came out in 2024. He is an analog man. He started main, pitch 1, draw 1, gain 1.
Just everything.
Yeah, but he gives you Digivolve on attack, which is just incredible.
And it's on a tamer as
effect,
well.
Yeah, because it's a tamer effect that you can get there. So Liberator's tight. It's a shame Galacticmon is quite pricey to pick up these days. The secret rare from BT11 has basically never seen suggestions of a reprint, and I believe Destromon promo 94 is finally getting up there in price. So this deck is somewhat price gating, but you know, here's to accessible future reprint sets like the recent what's it called? What's the actual name of the LM box? Like special limited.
Special limited set booster box.
That's the one, yeah. So hopefully we get some more in that direction down the line. But yeah, Promo Destromon and Galacticmon are getting there. So this deck's sick, man. I like making a big guy that fights real good.
Yeah, I really hope we get Armamon at some point.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh wow, yeah, he's 18 pounds.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where like they have made them kind of prohibitive to pick up because it's like this was, I believe, Destromon promo came out at the same time as in the same product as Deltamon back in EX5, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like it has kind of crept up in price continually, which is one of those. But yeah, it's a good time. Galacticmon's sick. I think people have a perception of some of these cards. They're like kind of memey, but the deck kind of goes the distance. I don't recommend it against Magnamon. I truly believe that to be maybe the worst matchup in Digimon I've played all year.
Not great.
It's one of those things where at start of turn you lose the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, good times. Let's see what else we got in this top. Big ups, there are some bangers in this format.
If he can flip Doraemon first egg, he'll make it work.
Fellas, I'd love to draw your attention to. There were a couple purple hybrids in the top cut here, but I'd love to draw your attention to 8th place. I'd love to. 8th place purple hybrid at the Cardimagica Ultimate Cup is an experiment in the like beautiful unknown of the world. If I'm remembering the list correctly.
The 8th place one, you said?
Let me triple check this. Oh, wait, no, I might be mixing events up. Spoilers, guys.
Is it?
I was mixing the events up. I was thinking of the Play TCG one. The 8th place one is still fun, though. There's something to talk about for this one. This is a like more standard like mill list in a lot of senses.
When
so we can have a look at it.
7th, right?
Yeah, 7th of December, 8th place by D Shamrocks.
Okay, I think I opened up the same tournament twice. That's why. Oh, right, because it's all the same page. Yeah, I've forgotten how Digital Gate Open works. I'm a beige. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at... Okay, Galacticmon did not do a thing.
So the fun part of this is that there's a couple cards that we've discussed here on the show as like interesting potential inclusions for Purple Hybrid that I think make it something to talk about. But one of them we brought up a couple of weeks ago that we haven't had a chance to like really explore is Ian Mako is funny in this deck. It's a card that we saw a ton more experimentation with in the Japanese format than we have here so far. Part of that is like, well, the Nats creep is here. Welcome to Bandai Card Fest season. But essentially, if you're not familiar, obviously Ian Mako, Beelzemon support of all time, gives you a ton of power in your mill matchups because you can stack the cards you want to mill. So it makes Deathslingers and Rivals Barrages way better. But the other thing it does is it searches for evils, wizards, and demon lords. And Duskmon's a wizard. So you get a lot of like really silly like power out of these cards, which is fun. And then the like last little sauce on top is Galacticmon. So there's been a lot of like adaptation to some of the standard purple hybrid mill pieces picking up over time. If you are not following them online, you could check out the Unkers guys, winning team out of Singapore, very good players. There is a really excellent deck write-up on by Kurova on purple hybrid again. I believe DCDC Robin won the recent card fest with it as well, and like the list just continues to change.
Shows up in the East video as well, with Paddy kind of going through some of the stuff about it. Really, really cool.
So purple hybrid is one of these decks that's here to stay. So if you're interested in learning more about it, there's not a lot of wrong ways to build this deck, which is exciting because it's like a fun little deck building puzzle. This one's like a very, I would say, like optimized standard milling list. There are others that we'll talk about in a minute that do some stranger things. I've seen a couple people in the chat talking about them already.
Where is that list?
That's a fun one. That is the what's it called? Play TCG 5th place list.
All right, let's take a look. See. Oh yeah, our results are also on here. So
woohoo!
Wowie. Yeah, let's take a look at 5th place.
Yeah, you might notice it says blue at the top of that. There's a couple things to talk about for the Play TCG event. Yeah, it's Apocalymon. It's Apocalymon purple hybrid. It's doing some silly stuff. There's like Deltamons and Laments in here to add like extra layers of board control so that you can just continuously pick up Apocalymon over and over and over again. Big fan. Obviously, there's, how do I put it? There's a certain amount of just like, this is the funny high roll deck of a lifetime.
Yep.
Like you just mill with your purple hybrids until you make an Apocalymon kind of steal the game off the spot. But there is also something to be said for, this is like another one of those reminders to Bandai that they're like, hey y'all, Lament is a crazy card.
Yeah. But it costs 3 mana. Ignore the 4 Jack raids sitting next to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the costs are fake. The game is made up.
Yeah, this is so funny.
But yeah, big kudos to Dan for reminding people that this is something people used to do. I think the Dark Masters are really interesting as far as space goes because Apocalymon is an individually broken card, but like the actual 6s are kind of just toolbox pieces in a lot of cases. Like I have seen like permutations of gameplay for these archetypes where it's like one of the things people forget about is that like in some lists the Argomon is 2 of the colors that the 6s can evolve over, so it's extra cycle and fighting. You can just slam these dudes for Digivolve 2 sometimes.
Yeah, and if you've not got the Ukomon live, the on play when the Machine Dramon is the most offensive one to me. Like the other ones are all cool, they all have their niches, but good old Digivolve 2 really does answer most situations that sometimes the other ones don't. So yeah, crazy card.
Yeah, big fan. I watched the footage of some of these decks get played, and the first time I'd remembered that Puppetmon is on play, return any suspended dude to deck bottom is like, oh yeah, that does give purple hybrid a new way to cheese certain matchups. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Diabolical card.
Yeah. I think we should save a vaults list for last because it's very cool, and I wanna talk about it specifically because I learned things about burst mode decks studying up on this event.
But because
D-Brigade is here.
Yeah. Also, okay, yeah. So a vault is listed as
played by Dr. Robotnik. This was brought to my attention earlier last night. Shoutouts to D Robotnik for playing D-Brigade. Very cool. I have been playing this list on DCGO most of last night. So if you bumped into me, hi, sorry. This deck is hilarious. Obviously, it does a lot of good stuff. D-Brigade is a sticky, resilient board monster that in some cases plays so many resilient dudes that I have just like intentionally let Leviamon players blow up my board because I'm just going to end up with more dudes in the end anyway. So it's a lot of fun. But the general gist, if you have missed a couple of the other times here on Misplay for Game where we've plugged D-Brigade, it is essentially like a kind of black rookie rush archetype in a lot of senses. The Commandramons, of which there are 14, are very efficient low to the ground attackers that often either have protection for other cards or recursion for other cards. And the unique mechanic of D-Brigade these days is that you can use like swings and other access, like limited, like kind of prohibitive resources like attacking or like delay effects to stack your top deck so that the cards that are like Cargo Dramon or Brigade Dramon can then like rip cards off the top and free play them. So it's very fun. The deck is insane. We've talked a lot about how good D-Digivolve is in the format, and DCD Bomb is maybe the premier D-Digivolve option in the game right now. Like if you look at like the matchups it needs to out. So there's a lot of good stuff. I had the personal enjoyment of DCD bombing a Ancient Greymon last night, and then remembering that it was on top of level 4s, and you go, oh wow, this was really easy.
Yeah, DCD bomb. Yeah, beats my ass as well. I hate that D-Digivolve in Millennia. It's really annoying. Really annoying. Kill me on the Vikemon, because obviously, you know, before it was just the only good black ace, and that is no longer the case by quite a wide margin now. So I'm kind of curious on like the Vikemon over something like the Shadow Seraphi that kind of seems to be sprinkled into, like we saw Shadow Seraphi in the Galacti, for example. So like,
Sure.
What's the difference there, considering they both D-Digivolve and kind of play belligerent?
Vikemon, I would say, is more of a direct response to some of the more dominant purple decks in the format. And also, counter-timing D-Digivolve 2 is still good enough that it doesn't necessarily... You don't necessarily miss Shadow Seraphi for outing something like a Mirage, like swinging into you a million times. But the thing Vikemon does that Shadow Seraphi doesn't is, yes, the 5k shrink is amazing. It's not board wide, which is something I've seen a couple of people suggest and incorrectly assume. It is a single target -5, which is still very good, but it's not exactly like the, you know, bam, see you later wide board.
Yeah, it's not about.
The thing Vikemon does is he's kind of more uniquely a good answer to a Leviamon board that pops off. You can trigger their Biting Crush, make them make the Crocodile, and then make them make Levia X on top of that. And then if your board survives, because you protect your 5 a bunch of times, and they swing, Vikemon D-Digivolves the Levia X and then pops the Leviamon because it has no sources. So it gives you a little bit more like versatility into some of these matchups. Also, like sort of a fake Sorai is insane. Like 1 or fewer sources, again, hurts Leviamon pretty badly, but also can like inhibit a lot of the like if you think about like the fish like cards that are like, oh, you know, I'm gonna play a guy out, suspend something to unsuspend me or whatever like that. It's like you can't suspend the guys that are sideways next to it. So Vikemon is just a good ass, like it's one of those. Oh, it also helps your Demon Lords matchup.
The main thing with Vike is like it's one of the few ways that black has to interact with tamers, because it means that like you force them to build awkward stacks. Because like, so if you think about like the Duskmon Belgarmon loop, they would go like evolve Dusk over something and then swing. Well, they can't do that anymore. Like the simplest way to think about like why Vike is better than Shadow Seraphi is just for the tamer interaction. It does have other applications, but it's mostly for tamer interaction.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's fun. One thing that I will say is notable that we've talked about on the show before, but is worth reiterating here in the face of positive results, is that this is D-Brigade. It's not DigiPlease good stuff. There's not a lot of Ryutamons and Ornamons floating around.
Mid stuff.
Yeah, if the card says D-Brigade, it's likely a lot stronger than if it says DigiPlease. The exception being Numemon, because what the heck were they thinking?
Yeah.
But yeah, big fan. Again, congrats to Dr. Robotnik.
Finally getting one over Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. But a lot of the, like, you know, we've talked about this a lot for the format, that like the end of 2.0 going into the LM stuff, like the format is understood to be a lot of good blue decks and a lot of good purple decks. I think this is the most Lord Knights that we've seen make a run at an event in quite a while, which I was kind of impressed by.
This is mostly just like NA's like inability to let go of bad decks. Like Lord Knight should not be converting, but it's clearly, to be fair, like, dedicated player.
Yeah, like it's Wes and Sean Correa, who we have seen top in other things as well.
I love the Bastemon in the Lord Knight list. It's one of those cards that I keep thinking about.
Which is not in this one. This one's pretty much.
Sorry, in the 9th place one.
Yeah, this one is pretty standard. The Deltamon is something that a lot of people like Marcio have been kind of like testing. It's kind of like common to see 4 protoform, full list of things. 1 Levia X. The White Chimera is cool though.
It's for like the OTK routes, because like with Lord Knight, since you don't have as much like comeback, you need a way to kind of push like as much damage as possible. So I think this list is just like more geared towards either like checkmating or OTKing.
Yeah, interestingly,
it's
because
good
you don't
stuff.
have a red source, you can't make like a 12k Chimera. Like you'll still be an 8k body, unfortunately. I don't know. It's still cool. Like simple enough. And then the Bastemon. This is something we saw in some of our players as well. Over here in like UK and Ireland. The Bastemon is a cute tech. You get to play a level 3 or level 3 purple Digimon from your trash without paying the cost, which I mean, what an all-star lineup of rookies, huh?
Yeah, and then when the inherit is it's even more insane. It's if something dies, you get to play out the Deltamon. Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So you collide into the big thing, and then whatever they didn't use to collide, Deltamon eats up, which is amazing. So
It's like the thing with the Dark Animal engine is that like anything that isn't Serb is like usually subpar, but then you kind of like sometimes your stacks will contain like Dober plus like you need like it'll be like Dober and then like Labra or something. So
Mhm.
you need to have like a way to have a card that consistently plays out a body. So like you basically have to choose between like, okay, do I want the token from Lady Devi, which means that I only get the token if I protoform, but the token is a level 4 blocker retail, or do I opt to go in for the Basse, which plays out at level 3, but the 3 doesn't really convert into much, like at best it's like a floodgate or like a memory from a potential Goblimon if you choose to climb. But they have like the same ESS. The thing is like it's like okay, what's like the next best Serb? And so like the Baste and the Lady Dev, you're kind of the same card into one. Just you have to route based on like what your follow up is going to be.
Oh yeah, because I guess they have the same,
Yeah,
or
they
they
have the
have
same
very
inherit.
similar.
Yeah, they functionally do the same thing. It's just like, for example, like you can training into the Bastemon, but you can only really protoform into the Lady Devi, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And the trade-off for token versus scapegoat is like, here or there. So I
But the
think
one
it's cool
thing-
that like you can scapegoat to pop like in the like a Leviamon interaction, like anything that you've played out separately, like scapegoat popping some of your opponent's little stuff is really good.
I will say though that like if there are any Lord Knight lists that like do well at Nats, it'll probably because of like the inclusion of things like the Argomon and even like Grand Coagamon Ace as sort of like a response to like the Tamers decks, because like one of the reasons why Levia didn't do as well is because like it does have ways to like interact with Tamers, but not in like a super proactive play. Like you're typically like passing turn, whereas like with Lore now you get to just set up all of your defensive lines, and then like having the ability to suspend the Tamers is almost more powerful than like deleting them in a way, because like it just means that they're just like on the field and usable. Whereas like with deletion, you're committing like big resources to deal with that, or as opposed to just having like a level 5 that passively is taking care of that issue.
I do wonder whether the 1-of-X antibody came up to try and stop against Source Strip, or whether it was just they don't own 4 protoforms. It's always one of them that you're always like curious about their reasoning behind picking kind of like what they've got. But yeah, I mean, really cool stuff. Pretty light on the Mirages, all things considered. We got 1 Galaxy in top 16. And
we can
then
open up the Angels list. I want to check something.
yeah, we'll check Angels, then we'll look at the Blue Dog for the 19th time. Cutemon making an appearance.
Okay. So
I like the TK Kari. It's a card that like sporadically saw some use in the Eastern format and like was never the popular name TK card here. But I kind of think it's one of the better pieces to like come back in a hybrid format. Like if your opponent ships you and you get this card, like obviously like yeah, dream scenario for Digimon, but like early chip from hybrid decks makes this card really effective. Because the prevailing strategies right now, like there are decks that can OTK you, but they are not super popular. So using TK Kari like a little memory battery is obscene, and then Dominimon to just continue to keep yourself at that lower amount of security is very good.
Yeah, I was going to complain that when are you ever lower on yellow, but like this is one of the decks that does basically stay kind of like at that Pulsemon threshold, where you do kind of just sit there on 3 for 5 turns before your board is 17 Digimon wide and you win the game.
Yeah,
The other thing is,
Pulsemon
like-
cheats its value at 3 security. Cheats its tempo at 3 security. This deck is like a value engine at 3 security. Like the Anjuamons go the distance in this matchup.
The other thing is like I guess like the lack of Takemika, at least like for this event, because like Takemika in 2.0 just isn't converting like that much because it's getting checked by a couple things. But in an LM like environment, I think like the main thing that'll like let the Angelus be successful is the EX4 Shadow Serafi. Like the way that card interacts with like Takemika, you basically like give your opponent a trolley problem.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think like that's a card that you'll probably see picking up like more traction as like we progress into like the LM tournament season.
Yeah, because
But
all
this
of
just looks like-
these was Scramble not available for these events.
This is, as I understand
No.
it, the last set of events pre-scramble legality. So
right. Okay.
it's gonna be coming up.
All right.
You're
Let's
all
do
excited.
let's do the thing that we're legally obliged to do now.
Yeah, congrats to Evolt once again.
Yeah, he just
so-
about squeaked in before the end of the year. He rose up for the content creator like battle call that was like that we've all got to lock in, and you know he saved it till the very end, but he did it.
Evolt's been good at Digimon for quite a while.
Yeah. But this was like he's been good at Digimon. He's been playing some troll decks to ship some mats, and I respect that greatly as a fellow hustler. But yeah, it was good to see him like get another top.
So I'd like to share with you guys, this is probably not news for the real Mirage diehards out there, but I learned a Mirage interaction from watching some of the footage and like discussing with some people online about the list for this Evolve run. Did you know that you guys can burst evolve in Raising?
What?
Yeah, so if you'd like to pull up Mirage Galgamon Burst Mode, the black Digivolution box there for Burst Digivolve 0 from Mirage by returning a Thomas H. Norstein. And then at the end of the turn, you trash the card. You'll still have to trash the card in the raising area, but this has a specific interaction that I found fascinating, which is that in the event that you need to play around a Mother Shoto and not get Death X'd, I have now seen someone burst mode in raising to pick up one of their tamers to reduce the amount of tamers on board.
Goofy.
That is
It's neat. It's a cool adaptation for a kind of like all imposing, Death X. Hey, Death X on the cheap right now, by the way. If you guys haven't checked in,
true.
should have a little nosy. But if you like many other people want to complain about the upcoming control format and all the nice new powerful control tools, burst mode decks have ways to play around Death X. So it's a very quirky one. Big fan. I have seen it now. I will never unsee it. Every time I watch somebody build a Mirage deck in the back against the control deck, I'll remember it forever. But yeah, what a banger.
Yeah, it's
because it's the Black Digivolution rule box word. So
yeah, it makes sense once you point it out that it would work like that. It is really funny, especially now that Blue actually just has, reduced play cost floodgate. Like I was gonna say, it's like, hey, if you don't have a Psychmon, you got to do what you got to do. But he's right there. Like he is there. And once again, we return to as many floodgates as we have name Galmon.
Yeah, they should try making another good Galmon. That might help the deck a little bit.
I don't think you should do that. I think they should let the deck go.
I think it's really crazy. Like I would, in a hypothetical world where people get to talk about like what's up with Mirage, like obviously the opinion is that BT11 Mirage is obscene, right? I don't necessarily think it's the most fun thing ever to get OTK'd by the burst mode either. That's just my opinion. But I think it's interesting that like part of the problem with this deck and like what has been the issue with Mirage this entire time is that like there's no inherent tribal synergy to any of these cards. No part of this archetype is like evolves for one less over Gaomon or
it's because it's single
Galgamon.
color. Like if these cards were dual color anything, then we would have so much. I mean, we run the risk of there being Mirage pieces in other decks that don't need them, but like because it's dual color, they don't have to slap the cost up. That's generally how they justify it. Very rarely are you going to see like a single color Evo that is one higher for the sake of it. Like they've kind of just gone, if it fits these criteria, it costs this much to evolve.
Yeah. They did eventually start giving like the shine cards in BT17 kind of give me a little hope, because I believe those were the first ones where they were like, yeah, let's really prune this towards one specific name. But obviously shine had 2-color status before it had 1-color status again, so it's like,
Yeah,
it's weird. Maybe in the future when they make another Digimon Savers wave of support and some of these cards are gone and there's a relic of the past, the next wave of Mirage I think might be a little bit more focused. But I'd like to see where they go with it, because it's just one of those cards where it's like, you know, yeah, it has been good for forever. It's because it's generic. It just happens. We just happen to call the deck the archetype because the level 6 is archetypal. But like, he's not here with the fam. He's here with his like business partners.
yeah.
That's how it goes. Want to say as well, it's always fun to see like there is this like perception that like, you know, the delay cards are insane. We talked about already. Like, where does the line stop, do we think? Like, is there actually every deck in the game is better with 4 boost, 4 training? Like, is it really that binary that like we can really just play like, oh yeah, start with a 42 card deck?
It is like a definitely like a Magic the Gathering kind of like deck building approach, where it's just like that these are your consistency pieces that are kind of like, you must, you know, your deck is this good if it, you know, reaches this bar. But I also maintain that, especially, okay, now that we have scrambles as well, maybe it's not always going to be 4 boost, 4 training. It's going to be like how many delay options are in your deck. But I also think that for the health, for your own mental health, you should avoid putting 8 delay options in your deck. It seems that like you are more likely to tilt playing a deck where it's rookie boost, rookie training, training, boost training. You will tilt if the game doesn't go your way. Whereas if you're out here resolving on plays, resolving when digivolving's on a level 4, you know, getting a little bit tricksy with it, you know, 0 cost memory extender into do a search for no you know, if your deck's out here having fun in the battle area, the wonderful place to be, you'll have a great time, win or lose. If you sit there in the back, you hand shuffle 6 times, and then you play training, and then you training or scramble, what do I pick up? And you pick up a 2-cost option that lets you cheat, you're probably not going to have a good time whether you win or lose. Unless you specifically donkey roll someone or a deck that you don't like, you are going to be sitting there going, I don't know, guys, game's kind of dead. Or, bro, I bricked with my boost didn't find one of my 3 level 4s because I've got 7 consistency options in. Bro.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think it'll be interesting to see where they go from here too, because it's like we talked about at the start of the show. It's like, you know, we're finally getting more axes of interactions with delay cards too. So, not that I'm gonna go to bat for Lucemon. I think it's probably had its moment in the sun already. It'll take another wave of TM Liberator, TM support. You know,
I mean, Virus Imperial, I'm excited to see what the TM Virus Imperial Liberator support looks like, because I mean, Scramble plus BT16 Wormmon plus
make
promo,
shade, make worm, make full combo. Oh, it's the most fun I've had in Digimon in months.
Before they were doing that with a Daiken as well, so like, you know, they were scary deck that does the same thing a bunch. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with it, and if it's gonna be some like utterly pushed option card.
Yeah, I suspect we're gonna get some pretty gnarly alternate control win condition style cheesiness. So.
I think the fact that it's definitely going to be a rogue NPC, meaning we probably won't get a tamer, like a new non-Daiken tamer card that like plays into the deck, I think is really interesting. So I think we are likely to get like some sort of crazy pushed option or like piece. So it's like very clearly like I'm playing Liberator's Virus Imperial rather than I'm playing Red Purple Imperial and my 4 Daikens that haven't been hit on the ban list are going to spit out Wormmon until I make new boss monster at full combo and then set my turn to 3.
Good luck to the Bandai team. They'll take my promo Shadramons from my cold dead hands.
Doesn't Brad currently have them?
I actually, you know, so when BT14 dropped and those promos came out, I opened 6 of those guys. Yeah, that was I was trading for packs and pulled 6 Shadramons. And at the time they were kind of cheeks. So but they got there eventually.
They come out in the same one as Zubamon.
No, Zubamon came out in the one after that. They came out with Nightmon and Diabormon Ace and Rust Tyrannomon Ace.
Yeah.
Wait, was Skull Knight in that one as well?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Skull Knight.
Yeah,
I
'cause
hooked you up
I'm-
with one of the Skull Knights.
I'm almost certain one of my your shade mods was one that I pulled for
Yeah,
a
I
Skull
think that
Knight that was
sounds right.
going for £40 a pop. I'm like, hey brother, hook
Yeah.
me up.
Yeah, big fan. I would like to eventually see something where they like move the game towards like promo accessibility. But hey, that's how it goes. Maybe if they just 1-to-1 reprint the card and now it says Liberator and it's in a set, that would be exciting.
Yeah, man, we should
This
put
is
out
also like 40 on release.
we should
not-
put out a video about that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah,
If only we knew guys who made videos.
yeah. If only we had already done that. But actually, this is a really interesting chart because without leaking anything for the video that's about to come out, the US is not real. We were talking to Digipanda about it. He was talking about how like playsetter scrambles and all that, it runs you $80, and I opened up Card Market and sent him a screenshot of Garnet Memory Boost, £1, and I could feel just seething through Discord text. He was so mad.
It's a bummer. And it's crazy too, because like so much of the stuff is just like like the omissions on some of these like pages is just like even more notable than the ones that are there. Like I've been losing my mind at where's Leviamon? Like it's blowing my mind. In Europe, he's a €30 card.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's not here. I think he's like $8.99 USD or something like that. So it's one of those.
Yeah, this is crazy. Big ups my man Flamedramon. I got my 4 of them so early.
I think it's funny too, because this poster, shouts to folks on Reddit, DCD, for the Digimon 2020 subreddit. Y'all make some good content sometimes. The same guy made a chart last year for the most expensive cards on TCG Player, and Shadramon and Seadramon were there then. And people were complaining about how expensive Shadramon was that year. It's gone up twice the amount. So,
Man, it's
think it's
good to
like-
have laser focus on your favorite cards, huh?
yeah.
I think it's like a case of there's not a lot of like value cards because like anything that's like theoretically in a box, unless it's like a secret rare, will eventually like settle in even like secrets. Like most of the expensive cards are all secrets or like low pull rate super rares, but like because of that, it means that people will just put inflated prices on things that are of more limited quantity, right? Like a promo like Flamedramon. Granted, it's a box topper, but it's not a case of like, you know, your box will have like one super rare flame and one like alt art flame. Instead, it'll be like your box might have a flame. And so it's like, it's very easy for these cards to just randomly go up in price.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's also a generically good card and
Yeah,
evolves
might
for
have
like a
Flame,
good
or You could
name.
open Falco.
I think the Mega Kabuterimon price actually went up, which is
It might be because of like LM hype and like because
Yeah, Bugs is on the mend because we
Yeah.
know they're getting easy cards or something.
let me check like on Card Market.
Cherubi Ace was the one that caught me by surprise because it was a couple
Yes.
of things when we were looking at like it was either Angels or like Alliance stuff, and people were just like, "What would you put in place of the Cherubimons because for a budget player?" I'm like, "Brother, what do you mean budget player? Cherubimons worth dirt." And I looked on Card Market and went, "Oh,
No, Cherubi was like I think like the lowest you were able to get them was like between like 6 and 9. And then
Mhm.
like the alts were like reasonably priced, but as soon as people figured out like how good lingering DP minus was, the card kind of like kept the set like kept the set in a chokehold. Like realistically, EX6 is like decent-ish to pull from, right? Because like
It has
The
like a lot
Mirage,
of very
the-
insulated archetypes. Like the fish stuff is probably future proofed quite well. The Alliance good stuff, the Angels good stuff, like Demon Lords, like all of these cards are in like yeah, some of your duds are like some of the Demon Lord alts aren't great. Like you don't really want to open Creepymon or Leviamon, but
realistically, I think like the best bang for your buck box is probably like BT16 because regardless of which secret you get, they're both like
Yeah.
like incredible value.
is it 16 or 17?"
I think 16. You're
16
guaranteed a
'cause
secret out of the
Magna or
box.
Rapid.
Magna or Rapid go crazy. 17, you
Yeah.
might accidentally swing and whiff on some of your super rares. But like a box of 16 is probably like if you're just flipping.
Oh yeah,
secrets,
what
like,
was what
low-key
was the
half the
first
price.
set that we started getting the inflated super rare count? Was that 17?
2.0.
2.0.
No, the other inflated one. The
after,
where it went up
after
to 10.
EX6. After EX6.
After EX6, okay.
Yeah, that changed after EX6. Which did have interesting knock-on implications for the expensiveness of some of these decks. So we'll see how it goes going down the line.
I don't know. A silly game. The thing is, like, I mean, not to like brag, but like for me, prices of cards don't mean anything because I buy product.
Okay,
So like
big money.
Well, no, it's like because like in my my most group of people, like let's say that the four of us buy a box each, we'll probably have a playset of everything for the set. So like I usually like invest in Digimon in like little chunks of like, well, okay, everybody gets a box and then we get at least like a baseline for everything, which is not realistic for like the average person. Like the average person will not buy like 4 boxes of the new set like every time there's a set. So like I do sympathize for people that have to kind of like pick and choose like what decks have available to them, or like that influences like the thing that they bring to a tournament, as opposed to just like, oh, I'm bringing the deck that I think is like the most well positioned and I have access to everything. But I mean, at least I would say the game is still relatively affordable. You still have like a ton of options. When it comes to like Digimon, there's not really like a deck there's no like you can get like a tier 1 deck for a relatively affordable price. Like Mirage can't be that much, right?
Yeah, I think it is very different to notice as well that we also are in EU, where Spain kind of stopped, like they have the prices kind of in a chokehold. Like they are making sure this game stays affordable, whereas like NA, everyone's like, every man for themselves. They are fighting out their profit, like they're pushing things up, buyouts everywhere. Whereas like here, like prices don't really go stupid that much, or if they are, they're like, if you ever just need like eye bleach, you go open the same card open on TCG Player and go, oh, it ain't that bad over here.
Well, it's because like it's like the hustle, like capitalist culture of like that whole country of like, well, I can just like pull this, make a little bit of money here, pull that. Whereas like in Europe, most people are like, okay, I'm going to get my base rares and I'll slowly pick up my alts.
Half the region may also just not get the cards for 3 weeks, so like
yeah. Well, I was talking about this with somebody here because Xamon's reveals this week. We haven't talked about a ton of the BT20 reveals. There's some cool stuff, but it's exciting. Basically, the thing I was going to say is that like Xamon's had its reveals this week, and there's a lot of really cool stuff. But if you don't know, Xamon has finally gotten an ace, and that archetype has built-in taunt. So the ability to like actually go through and play a game out with like Slayer Dramon and like people looking to like, oh, maybe I'll pick up my old Slayer Dramons. Those all got bought out here in TCG Player. Like in North America, like Marcia said, like there's a big chunk of folks buying them and relisting them. It's a challenge, and I think it might. I mean, you can only contribute so much to like the discourse on like, what makes a game accessible. Like are the hashtag market watch bros, like are they maybe not the healthiest thing to kind of court in the game archetype? Like card games as a finance investment is like not straight up the best for the game.
That's like I'll call them all out. It's like the laziest, most like sloppiest, like, oh guys, I'm going to open up a website and look at the prices and that's my video. Oh, I for sure I'm not using my influence to alter the price of cards and make them arbitrarily more expensive for people that want to play them.
By BT1 Wergarurumon.
Just like get a job, bro. Like
it's
make an actual video with like some thought behind it, please. I'm begging.
So I think there's, Marcia said it best. I think there's something to be kind of consistently looked at. But, it does have I would say a pretty unhealthy knock on for accessibility to certain cards. Like if you haven't been on TCG Player, like especially around the holidays when people are like, TCG Player does this thing where you can like buy gift cards and then like send them to people for like basically free TCG Player money. It starts to show this time of year. I'll put it that way.
Just the antics. He gets it, right? It's just like, I just want the alts because like if I'm investing into a deck that I'm spending money on, I'm chasing the alts. Like if it's a deck that I'm like slowly putting the pieces together or whatever, I'll slowly trade like super rare for super rare.
Yeah, like tricks. So I got paid by an event. I still haven't tracked down which event it was I got paid by, but I got paid
Where
with
are my
like
fucking cards, bro?
They're with tricks.
I'm waiting.
You got something out of it. You got
an Altar Shellmon.
No, you got a winner. You got a winner out of it as well from me this week.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, so I opened
was
a
the
box. It
winner.
was like a winner. It was like a normal Satan, normal something, and then it was 3 hybrid ults. One of them being Susan, and I was just like, "Anyone want these?" Trix got all 3. Is like, "How much you want for them?" I'm like, bro, I'm not opening card market in a basement. Take them. You buy me 5 guys, and that was how that went. Like, your scene can be so healthy if you just simply money isn't real.
Yeah.
But
I listen. There's a slope though. Don't get to where I'm at with Galacticmon, guys. It's a losing.
yeah, I'm also in a
proposition.
unique position where I have not seen any card that is going to beat my ass in the upcoming set, whereas I'm still chasing down my 3rd one of Ragnar Lordmon. But card is bad. Therefore, to be fair,
This
actually,
card's not bad.
around the
This card's
time
not bad.
Glasgow Nats was, this card was like fucking 15 quid or something because someone was trying to mogul moves.
Yeah.
Bad, long time for them. Like coal in their stockings this Christmas because their shit is like this. It's I mean 5 for a super rare ain't bad, but yeah, you know, trying to see this number drop to under 100 so I can get my 3rd one. I play bad cards. There's a reason that I do not have the shiny gold Magna X's or anything above like a regular alt art for Bmon cards because I value buying more alt arts than good cards alt arts that I still
Altar
do. Huh?
I was gonna say altar currency is like so funny because like realistically, like the altars are like the only thing that's like actually worth money in Digimon. But sometimes it's like, for example, I spent I think less than $10 on a playset of Maruki altars. Why? One day the card will be good. Trust me, bro.
Bro,
One day the card will be okay.
The most annoying bit about that is I still have one in my binder that I was hoping you would take off me, and then you bought 4. I was like,
My
now
bad,
we
bro.
both have trash that we can't get rid of.
Other investments that I've made. So I went a little bit.
Oh, put him away. I don't want to see what's coming. Get rid of it.
You're in trouble, Bozo.
I'm so smoked. It's so bad.
Made
is this a safe space chat? Sorry, I'll let Marcio go ahead.
I think it was like for a whole week. I think I had brainworms and I was obsessed with this. Oh, did it go up?
Bro, one sec.
Who bought out Marukimon? Listen, this is
no,
what I'm saying.
one
These
sec.
Market Watch moguls coming for us all.
What, 1 pound
Is
and a
it
crisp
1?
handshake. There we go. I'm price gouging live
You're
on
gonna pay
stream.
more in shipping, like.
Yeah, that's literally not worth 2nd class postage.
What else? Oh, Shoutmon DX, the one from BT5. I bought a playset of those alt arts.
But they have
Funnily
ults?
enough, we already.
Wait, doesn't he have 2 ults? Which ult did you buy?
No, he only has the one. The Omnis have.
Oh, the Omni is the one.
Yeah.
Wait,
Funnily enough,
That set is so sick. That's a top 5 set of all time.
Shoutmon DX has.
BT5,
Yeah,
Shoutmon
BT5.
DX.
Okay, well, the card market doesn't even acknowledge that it exists. Continue.
Yeah, I was just like, I was obsessed with this deck because like we saw the concept somewhere and we were like trying to make it work. And the deck is like, it's okay. It has some cute lines of play. But I think I spent like $5 altogether on like my playset of this card.
Okay, to be fair, this is when were doing like the joining cards for decks that would never see play
Yeah.
next to each other, didn't they?
Hey, no, Blitz Omni is searchable in the Shoutmon Blitz pile.
Yeah, man, it'd be really cool if we.
If you're gonna invest in alt arts, I would say the best time, and I still think the best time to get like your alts for nice and cheap is EX5. If you're playing Anubis, you need one of them. Diana and Apollo are nothing.
Diana especially. Apollo, until we get like
Diana
a
especially
new
has not
red
held
good
price.
thing to put in Galaxy Toolbox, the longer Apollo will stay more expensive than Diana.
It'll be
Mitama,
hard to
I
make something
think
better than Apollo.
I think they'll give you Mitamas for free if you really ask nicely. If you like message the seller and you go, "Hey bro, can I just like take your Mitama alt?" Leopard X. But here's the thing, right? EX5, horrible set in terms of power creep for the game. So eventually you'll make it all like a bandit. Me, I've been playing Leopardmon for approximately like a year. And
No, longer. You tried it in 13.
And I got my mileage out of these altars from EX5 ever since the card came out. I got one given for free. I bought 2 and pulled another one. Okay? Mitalamon is next, guys. Trust me. Mitama will be good. Mitama Venus
sweep.
Lock. Mitama Venus Lock.
Okay,
will
actually,
be
low
good.
key it might, because I was talking to Trix about it. The Magna Angemon that goes in
Okay,
Deep
this
Sabers,
guy's an
that card's
asshole. Sorry.
crazy.
This guy's the asshole because he's a Royal Knights card. So he's like fucking up my shit, okay? If anybody has a BT13 Leopard mod that would like to, sell them to me for a reasonable price, I'll take it. I only need one more. But this guy's an asshole because he's like very good in Royal Knights.
Oh, dude, I'm supposed to be saving money for Galacticmon cards, but I really do have to stop myself every day getting up and going on Card Market and looking at like Royal Knights cards. I think about it all the time.
This guy's like really cheap in Europe, although it is going up because some people are being stinky and stupid and they're looking at like TCG Player and translating the prices over. Guys.
I mean, Boris also did get second at an event. Like, let's not pretend that Leopardmon didn't just like nearly win 2 things.
You can't have it both ways, Mr.
You have a good point.
It's either good or cheap.
No, you have a good point. But yeah, I think EX5 check Mitama just out of curiosity, right? Like maybe I'll get myself a little treat, a little stocking gift
for Christmas Eve. Have you been good?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
$3.
You could say it's like, I'll buy all of your Mitamas off you if you pay for shipping. Like you're trying to round out an order to £40. You're like, bro, throw in all the Mitamas and take shipping off and call it even.
Actually though, because like, okay, Mitama reads.
Wait, what happened here? What will people do it on the 31st?
It does not read as good as Anubis. Mitama is balanced Anubis.
Sure.
That's the problem with this card. Is it a vaccine or is it a data?
It's a vaccine.
I believe it's a vaccine.
That's what yeah. How are you gonna be making like all this like data support that a card that would appreciate protection?
Dude, this is an emissary target. That was the point.
Yeah, I guess.
Evil card should be at 0. I get up in the morning to hate on yellow.
No, yeah. I like yellow, but I like when they do yellow right.
Yellow decks, and I'm kind of in on Dynasmon right now. Shouts my goat Terry. Oh, dude. Listen,
okay. He just culturally appropriated my Levia list and made it yellow.
Marcio, you figured out tempo, so we can just borrow tempo over and over again.
Wait, you raise a good point.
I love playing tempo deck.
So listen,
there are a couple people in Digimon who I would blindly follow into a list no matter what. And when Terry hands me a Pulsemon list and says, try this one out, I say, yes, thank you, I appreciate you. And I play it for 3 days straight on DCGO.
Okay, can we talk about like how I think this Xamon is kind of whatever.
Yeah, I mean, one day
knowing that it has taunt, but it's not like
it doesn't have taunt, right? Yeah,
it's a roll. No, the Slayer has taunt.
Like old Slayer, like there is a Slayer that
has.
Yeah. This card is like, I don't think I'm in a hot take for saying this. I think this card is supposed to be a Royal Knights card more than it's supposed to be an
this card. This card's a Royal Knights card for sure.
Yeah. But it has a lot more. Like I think
this is a crazy.
No, wait, it can't be a Royal.
Purge.
I mean, I guess
off a Purge.
Yeah, I guess you play it off a Purge, and it is a 9. It's also a 9 play cost idiot. So like,
it's also green. I could play this in Leopard, by the way. I could just flashbang someone.
Just play this for 5 off a Leopardmon.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, for 2.
For 2. Yeah, Leopard X. Me math.
I don't know what I would do with that 2 memory. I don't know what I would do with this by slamming it. I mean, it's a blocker with evade.
Yeah.
If it makes it back to me.
Yeah, if this card had collision, I think it would have been better than it having raid, but it's red, so it needs raid.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad they finally gave this deck red. I always thought that was kind of a shame.
They can't give it can't give it
collision because it's not a black deck.
Yes. But you can give it rush off of Pangea.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I don't know. I think this archetype is going in interesting directions, and it's not just because they finally give it a security inherit.
I think it is also just really funny to just see a bunch of keywords stacked next to each other. I think the orange rectangle or orange hexagons really funny. Big fan.
It should have more.
Yeah.
It should have sec +1.
This could have had partition. Or sorry, not partition. Hang on, I did something wrong there. No, I meant fortitude, but partition might be better.
No, this can't have fortitude.
No,
That'd be so
fortitude.
oppressive.
Imagine, it's like
That's green as heck.
no, but
Look, I wouldn't mind. When was I
It's
say
an
this every
ace,
other week
Tom.
on this show? When was the last time green was a meta relevant color? Like, give him something broken. I want to play a red.
Just glazing
Tom,
Boris.
it wouldn't
He's
even be
crazy,
broken.
but like Boris was the only green player in that top cut, right? I'm done. If I see you playing blue, purple, yellow, you're snooze town. I want to play a red, black, green format. Give me a bad rock, paper, scissors game.
No, dude,
It's
like
just rock. What you're describing is like three colors like shooting rock at each other.
partition
Oh,
doesn't
my
stop
rock's
the
so
Digimon from
big,
leaving play, right? Like we're all missing the giant elephant in the room that is, if it had fortitude, you would kill it. Overflow 5, and with the 5 memory you got back, you'd kill it again. Because it just comes back and dies again. Why would you want it to float back into being another battery?
If you don't have more removal for it, it's a double blocker.
I think I'll find it if you give me 5 memory.
Look, I'm just saying, sometimes the thing is, it's a level 7, right? So there are actually parts of purple that can't interact with this card. Like, Biting Crush can't pop this dude.
Yeah, but Levia X can.
Yeah,
So
Levia
you'll
X
forti-
can, but
you'll
if you
fortitude
made Levia
and trigger
X,
the
you can't
Levia
make
X in the
another one when he
trash.
comes back.
No, you'll go fortitude and then trigger the Levia X in the trash.
Okay, yeah, if they go Leviamon, pop Examon, Fortitude, Levia X, dude, they got you. You're supposed
Okay,
to
but
lose
fortitude
to
is
that.
also optional, right? So you don't have
Yes,
to.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just supposed to not troll. But my point is, it's like, why not explore
Somebody will
interesting
troll.
future design space?
Yeah, if you were trying to resolve Examon, you were going in to troll. If you win a game in the process, congratulations.
Hey, maybe it'll get there this time. The Dracomon and Examon X's are going to be insane.
Yeah, the Examon
Okay.
X actually might go foolish.
Examon X
That is
secret
true,
rare.
yeah.
Quote
'Cause
me.
We were hating on Barbamon and Barbamon X, but Loki,
I don't want to talk about him.
Loki, I think Barbamon's kind of heat. I think he's kind of sick. I've been watching
doing
this
this to me.
one channel where they've got this like Barbamon apologist. You know how we were talking about how like Moon Millenniumon will go in like any purple list that just doesn't know what level 7 to just drop something on after their level 6 has done a thing? That
don't approve
is
this.
Barbamon right now. I'm
Don't-
just seeing
don't
this
associate me
one
with your
guy.
message.
I'm seeing just this one guy. He keeps putting Barbamon X in any top end. He just goes like, yeah, here's my level 5 stuff. Barbamon, give me all the cards in your hand. And he just keeps doing it to his friends. So funny. I watched Marine Devimon domain expansion go 19 wide. He has a game on board and he just goes, Barbamon, give me everything.
You know what's like the best thing about like living with somebody that has absolutely like brain poison for like one guy? It's like, say for example, Andrew, if you were Tom's roommate, right? You had access to like all the decks that he randomly max rarity to, because like when Galacticmon stuff comes out, he's not going to be playing those. That's what's happening with me and Harry, okay? Because the Exa stuff looks sick, okay? But Harry plays Exa, except he won't because he's going to be playing Alpha, so I will play Exa. It's my deck now.
I had
Thanks
this
for the ults.
conversation with Jambo the other day about like if he's gonna keep playing purple. He's like, nah, brother, they're announcing Royal Knights. I feel some cards. Jessmon's back. I'm done with these birds.
Yeah.
Very good.
The funniest thing is like Harry knowing that he's gonna spend 3
He
weeks
picks up all the
crafting.
control decks. He picks up all the control decks, and all it takes is Alpha to get support, and they're my control decks. Okay,
Dude, it's so funny. 'Cause
my Angels list now.
he'll spend like
Freest-
3 weeks like crafting just like absolute cream of the crop perfection list, and he knows it's going to use, so he's going to switch out 2 cards with just some pure dog shit that is just there to like do psychic damage to you when you draw it randomly. In your 3rd game, when you really need something to clutch up, you're going to draw parabolic junk or some shit, and you're going to yell across the room. It's like, why is this in here? And he's like, it's heat, trust me.
True.
I've never heard a more accurate specific roast in the entire time I've played Digimon than the other decks you randomly have ulted. I'm on vacation. I'm seeing my family for the holidays. And I literally brought Grace Novamon, like an actual Grace Novamon engine with like championship stamped cards. Just because, like, well, when Galacticmon comes out, I'll never see my son Coronamon ever again.
Oh, it's so good, bro. Angels. I was like, as we were leading up to Utrecht, and he was like grinding Angels. I'm like, damn, this Angel deck is kind of peak. And I was like, fuck, thank you for the fucking alters, you idiot. a Seraphi. Yeah, that's really he. I'm really sad he didn't pick up the Shadow Seraphis from
I gave
EX4.
Harry 2 Shadow Seraphi Ace alts, and they're both Marcios now.
Yeah, they're mine now.
Dude, you remember when
Oh,
Shadow
boy.
Seraphi was like 20 quid when that set came out? And I looked, that card is like, hey, take it off the shipping kind of price now. It's trash.
I opened an alt Shadow Seraphi Ace at pre-release, which was awesome because the only BT 2.0 deck I had built was Galacticmon, so I needed one of those. And then out of my casting compensation, which I can't believe I got, but very cool of them, I also opened another alt Shadow Seraphi Ace. So it's just the only card I conceivably opened from 2.0.
Harry's putting in the chat, they're going back to their homes. Their homes means Terrence, and I work with Terrence. Terry is never getting those cards back. They're mine now.
Fellas, I think it's been a banger here. Is there any, listen, because it's Christmas, right? Like, we're here, we're feeling festive. We got some stuff. I've been wearing antlers this whole time. I just realized, this is a podcast, and occasionally I remember that we have audio viewers or listeners. I'm wearing, Minnie the Mouse bow and antlers because it's Christmas. I like to put out into the world, like we kind of did this at the end of last year, the stuff I'm really hoping for. And this is a safe space chat. Like, you guys, know what's up. You know what's up. Chat. My co-hosts here are animals. They hate unconditioned. They get up in the morning to hate on me, a man with objectively correct opinions, all the time.
You like
and
milk.
I say this sincerely when I mean I love EX8, but I kind of hope that down the line they give Medieval Galacticmon another SP that matches all those color ones, because I want it to look really nice in the binder next to my Galacticmon Crimson Hood SPs.
If that SP
and
comes
the
out,
new one's,
I
the
think
new one's great. The new one's great. But all I want for Christmas is a red and green SP. Thanks for
okay. Hear me out. If you get the SP that you desire so much, can I borrow the current SP? You're not gonna be using it, right?
I mean, I'm asking for this because I want them to miraculously appear for free in my binder. Obviously I don't want to have to buy 8 SPs. That's crazy. But worse things have happened to a guy that gave me a 2-star this month.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. That's 2025 Tom's problem. That's my New Year's resolution, is to figure out how to make 2025 Tom a bunch of money.
Unironically, I woke up in a cold sweat this morning because I had a dream that Jamie pulled a 2-star Zed and it had fucked my plans for buying hardware. I've been doing that thing again, right? Look and see if I'm going to get any new lenses for myself and Jade for streaming stuff. Marcia just got a new mic for the podcast. I've been wanting to upgrade my mic for 3 years and I just never got around to it because financially we're just never in the right place. They've just rebranded that mic and it's reset all of the deals back to full price for all of the microphone again. So I'm pissed off about that. And then I finally found 2 listings and I went to bed and I had that dream that Jamie pulled a 2-star and I was like, I could buy 2 microphones or I could buy a Zed off of Jamie. And I woke up and I had to message him. I was like, I can't tell if this was a dream or not, or you pulled a 2-star Zed. Do you have a 2-star Zed? He's like, no, that was a dream. I'm like, excellent. I'm back on my original plan.
That's insane.
I was distraught when I woke up.
Dreaming about your friend pulling cards, you're insane.
It was so unprompted as well. There was nothing that should have made me just Zed 2-star.
Be me in January. Oh, God.
Genshin opening ass dream. It's just Jamie and the card flies everywhere and just it flips 2 stars.
Jamie touches the booster pack and an orange light comes out the top.
Yeah.
And it's just base boosted. It's the new Deathx and flips around.
What's the thing that all the TCG Pocket players are doing? They spin the pack
Oh yeah, you flip the pack backwards.
You flip, yeah. Why? If you're gonna get an alt, you'd get to it when you flick.
It's also
why ruin the surprise?
You click open pack, it's seeded, but don't I don't want to take it's the holidays, Marcy.
Look, everyone has their gacha rituals, bro. I be hitting Fortnite dances before I was pulling on Bleach Brave Souls, which I haven't opened in 2 years. Brilliant. Card games have ruined me.
Yeah, why play a gacha when you could go to a locals every week with this?
Yeah, where I can sell my alt arts for nothing, just like the PNGs.
We just trade, sums of money.
Yeah.
Each other.
I said to Harry the other day that it's sure is sad that I don't want to have to pull rank on everybody and be like, give me your Galacticmon cards. But also, I'm going to give them some stuff. Things come and go. It's a seesaw. We all are up the up and down sometimes.
Yeah, 21, I'll get some new Vmon cards.
I told you, the SP, yeah, bro, sure, whatever. But the regular Altar Medieval Galacticmon where he's like holding the axe thing. And
that card looks so good, though. I'm not a hater. I obviously will play the SPs if I have them. But like the alt is amazing. Medieval Galacticmon is I wish I had the name of the artist. But I got this like cool medieval
what
Galacticmon
size is that?
playmat.
Is that like
it's slightly wider than it is tall. I got it intentionally so it would be like a like webcam friendly Digimon mat. So it's like kind of mouse pad scale.
Can you get it in like a regular size?
I think so. I'd have to look again. I got it on Coffee.
Just send me the link.
So I will find the link and I will share it. 2 seconds. It's from like Farn's Dragon something. Let me pull it up. I don't want to end the podcast without giving a plug to an artist because that's not the
really
vibe
funny.
here.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to do more stuff.
Fadramd Lair, Fadramd, and then Lair, like a lair. So the cool Indonesian artist, found them online, did a bunch of cool Galacticmon stuff, and now I have another playmat. But I didn't have one with Medieval Galacticmon on it yet. So here we are.
Speaking of playmats, hopefully Saf will get his ass together and would double tap. Hopefully it'll be live.
I want Double Tap Games to have a website.
Yeah, Double Tap. Hopefully. Oh, for Dram's Lair is down right now. So long day. If anyone was being proactive, yeah, you know what? They're probably doing the stuff that Saf should be doing and getting their website ready for 2025. So that way, when people ask me, hey, where can I get that Lilithmon playmat? I go, here's a website instead of I'm gonna throw rocks at his window.
I need the homie stuff one to finish the site so that when Monster Hunter comes out, he and I can play that instead of doing maintenance.
Yeah, so well, hopefully get that sorted out. Hopefully the new project that we've been working on, Marcio now understands the assignment and is going to be helping me get footage of it with his really cool Shoutmon DX alt cards that he bought. Those
spoilers.
Yeah. Hopefully by end of January. So see you in February. Yeah, we're gonna be off for
Misplay for Game special if we weren't wrong about time.
Yeah, I was raised by the best at SIS. I'm gonna say a date and completely just whiff the window. But yeah, we're gonna try and get more podcast stuff done. We're trying to get guests scheduled. Obviously, with the Discord being opened, it'll be much easier to have our guests all in a server that I can just message them instead of having to
moderate a server.
But yeah. It should be fun. So hopefully by end of January that we'll have hit the goal and we'll have the thing open. We're going to be taking about 2 weeks off so I can make some minor changes to just generally the workflow for the podcast. One day I'll buy a Steam Deck or Stream Deck. That is not happening anytime soon though. Maybe there'll be new microphone upgrades. Tom will be back in the country. And just generally, Misplay for Game going to go upwards and onwards. Thank you everyone that supported us this year. It's been really cool. We got to do some really fun stuff. I got to talk to like Xiao Do. I got to meet like the English producer, which we kind of dropped as a bombshell last week and then just didn't elaborate on and won't be elaborating on again. Connections have been fun. We've gotten to do a bunch of stuff. We got to appear on East Channel. So, all of us, we're going to be trying to do more and more stuff with not just the channel, but the podcast as well. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's been supporting us. If you're enjoying the bonus content, hopefully that will be weekly as well. Marcio will be in them eventually as well. Next year, but big thank you really to everyone that's let us do what we've been able to do. So happy holidays and a very happy new year. I'm gonna still try and get some uploads going out and see if I can meet like Marcio and the gang to record some more gameplay and stuff. Maybe we'll do some future content and just generally keep the channel rolling. Alestrals will be on the channel next year as well, sprinkled in here and there. So yeah, we got cool stuff coming. So stay tuned.
If you miss us over the holidays and we haven't plugged it here in a little bit, but go ahead and check out youtube.com/KB. Is it KBeeDS TCG for your TCG channel, or is that one the one that's just KBeeDS?
It's just KBeeDS.
I think it's just KB.
I forget which one is KBeeDS and which one is Young Marcio and all the random ones. He has like 9 YouTube channels, guys. He has
yeah.
But yeah, check out Marcio's YouTube channel. I'm sure it's available in some of the other media we've promoted, but Marcio's put out some videos and he's been doing a lot of work to up his editing game and stuff over the winter. So if you're gonna miss us on the Misplay for Game break and you want to see him, check him out. I haven't plugged any of my stuff in a little while. It's because we've mostly been a busy year behind the scenes. But 2025 was for Sukamons. 2024 was for Sukamons. 2025 is for Melgas. I am working on some YouTube videos again, so it might not always be Digimon TCG stuff, but check out it's the TommyNT on YouTube. You find pictures, you know what it is. We're making some video essay things, like some secret projects. But yeah, thanks so much for everybody who's tuned in. Y'all have been the best. We have done this Misplay for Game has been performed on 3 different continents now. Maybe next year we do a live show.
Can we go to like what continent? Can we go to like South America?
Dude, we had 14 countries on Spotify that had checked out the podcast. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So here's to 2025. I would love to do, like, if I'm manifesting the good vibes, I would call my whole year a dub if Andrew and Marcio and I get to do it live on stage with a microphone. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. Can you imagine Lethal Living live?
Yep, that's my goal.
Adam, we need you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I want for Christmas, y'all. Thanks again to the boys. We couldn't do it without you both. It's the pride of my life these days. I'm very grateful. Happy holidays to you wherever you are. Hopefully you're enjoying some festive fun. Is there anything else? You want to plug anything, Marcio?
I'm chilling.
All right, we'll do how
you guys did all the plugging.
Yeah, we do what we do every single week, to the point that it's kind of just caught on and somehow is our thing now. But as always, gang.
Baba Booey. Ho ho ho, Baba Booey. Ho.